Hello, everybody. I'm Nicholas. If you didn't know that, I'm gonna change my name and my lighting. I just set this up in like what 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes. I'm just tired. I don't know. I'm just like different today. I'm different today. How's everybody doing? Today we're going to be talking about Atlanta and Potomac last night. That came on Bravo if you weren't watching. So we're going to be talking about pretty much just everything that happened and how'd you feel about it? Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get a sip of water. Wow, I'm out of water. All right, so what did y'all think of last night? Nobody's here yet, so I'm just gonna go over. I'm gonna take my headphones off. So I'm gonna just talk about what happened, how I felt about it, what was going on. So pretty much Atlanta. I don't feel like nothing happened. Cynthia, she's still talking about the wedding that she wants to do with she wants to invite a lot of people to the wedding and she wants it on 10 10 20 and Mike is like, oh, did Candy have a scene? What was Candy doing last night? I don't know. Kenya and Latoya did some. I don't know what happened on Atlanta. I don't know why I put it in the title. It was just something. Potomac, it was something. I don't know. I'm out of it right now. So I wanted to hop on here because I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be fun. But I'm just, I don't typically like doing stuff at 9 o'clock. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a panel at 9 o'clock. So, yeah. I don't know what there is to talk about, honestly. I honestly feel like it's boring. It's not boring in the sense that nothing is happening. It's boring in the sense that it's fun, but it's boring. That's how I feel about Atlanta. It was fun seeing Fallon, however you pronounce her name. It was fun seeing her and her husband and Tanya. I like Tanya with her natural hair. It looks nice for her. That's pretty much all that happened. And then Drew and Ralph were arguing about house stuff and Potomac. They brought up the Ashley stuff with Michael grabbed the video of Michael grabbing somebody during season 1. I don't like how quickly they stopped talking about it because I was like, this is literally sexual harassment / assault. I don't know which one specifically it is, but I don't like when people defend that whole thing. It's just disgusting. It's indefensible behavior. I understand if you like a certain person on TV, you stand their behavior. That's cool. You can't defend something like that. It's just. I mean, you can defend whatever you want to. I personally wouldn't defend somebody like that. Just because you can like somebody, you can like what they add to a show, what they don't add. But you really have to question Bravo's work ethics if that's what they're fine with. It's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna let you grab the cameraman. My face is very monotone right now, so I'm gonna cut the camera off. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna stop going live at 9 o'clock. just because I know this time doesn't work for me. I probably would have had a better chance at like 5 or 6 o'clock. I just tried not to do my thing live at the same time as other people. Yeah, as soon as I got live, I was like, oh dang it, I'm on the same time as somebody right now. So in regards to next year, I don't feel like I'm still gonna continue to do this live on YouTube. I don't feel like live works for me. And at the end of the day, I could change my mind and decide to continue to do it not live. But, I wanted to do this to enjoy myself and have a good time, but I just haven't been doing that. So I feel like essentially I just need to take a break. I like sharing my opinions and I like talking to other people about my opinions and how I feel about things, housewives and reality TV and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm just not 100% happy with the whole thing. And it's nothing that happened. I feel like when I do it, it's not at the right time. Like when I was doing it at 4 o'clock, it was too early for some people. When I do it at 9 o'clock, it's too late for some people. When I do it at 6 o'clock, I'm at the same time as other people. So nobody's going to see this one because, bigger YouTubers are doing their thing. So, you know what? I might just spend this video ranting. We won't even talk about Potomac. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a mess right now. I am. Housewives Twitter, it's a mess. It's an actual mess. I honestly might make a video talking about that because that's part of the reason why I get on camera and I'm so drained. Like, this just for a community that we're all supposed to enjoy one thing and enjoy each other's company. It's like that's not happening at all. Everyone's fighting and blocking other people over disagreeing with opinions. It's like you can't have an opinion. You have an opinion. Oh, you don't have the right opinion. And then it's like some people think they're so good because they have a lot of followers when all they do is post videos from a TV show. It's just stupid. And then the mob mentality. Can I even say mob mentality? I don't even know. But it's like group chats. I'm in one group chat currently, and it's positive for the most part. I don't have any problems with anyone in there. For some part I do, but it's not like conflict. It's just certain things I might not like about a person. But I don't have conflict in this group chat. But I was in a different group chat, and I thought that I was cool with everybody, but apparently I'm not. Which is one thing where it's like, why am I even on Housewives Twitter? I feel like because I got on there when I was like 12, 13. Like, I probably shouldn't be saying this on the internet, but I don't care. I'm probably going to debate this. I got on there when I was like young. So, they say you should try to keep them off of Twitter because vulnerable age. I feel like I should have listened because I feel like what happened then contributed to how I am now. Like nothing happened. It wasn't like a serious situation, but ever since I've gotten on Twitter, I feel like I'm just always having to prove myself to people to make friends and stuff. And it's just ridiculous. It's stupid because at the end of the day, I shouldn't have to feel like I have to prove myself to anybody on the internet. And I know, understand, like, I don't want people in the comment. Well, is anybody going to comment? I'm deleting this. But I don't want people in the comments to be like, oh, why are you on there then? Or, you had the option to leave. I feel like eventually I am gonna leave for 2021 because I don't really have anyone on there. Like I joined there to make friends. But at this point, can I really say I have any friends? No. I'm cool with a few people. They know who they are. I don't have any issue with them. I consult them on certain things, not personal things, but like say I make an intro or something, I'll send that to them and see what they say about that. But I can't say I have friends on Housewives Twitter. Now, do I have friends in real life? I do. For the most part, I do. Like, um, that's actually a complicated situation. I'm not gonna talk about that. But I just have you ever felt alone is the question. It's like you can be surrounded by people and feel alone at the same time. Like you don't connect with them. Like there's just nothing there. And it just I just sometimes I'm like I'm too young to be unhappy because of social media. It's stupid. Like, okay, say a few months ago, I'm not saying any names because that's dumb, but pretty much, it was like a argument, not argument, because of they said something like the hottest person on Twitter. I was like, no, I think you the hottest person. They said Twitter.com. I was like Twitter.net, and this person in particular, like I have been trying to like one thing I will acknowledge and be like, yeah, I will say that is an issue. Like I used to, used to. I still do it sometimes, but like had you ever spam somebody? You just message over and over, like, oh, I want them to respond. I used to do that to celebrities, but they never ended up actually responding. I got blocked by a celebrity one time, but that's another story for another time. But I mean, it's like, why does Housewives Twitter make me feel so, uh, like I don't belong there? I'm just like, uh. So I honestly do think I'm probably gonna leave for like 2021. And then I think the show probably will work better as a podcast because, like, when you do TV or not TV, but just YouTube, you gotta have facial energy, and it's like I don't know that I have that type of energy anymore because I'm on break and I literally have so much pressure, not pressure, but it's like I put focus to the wrong things, I would say. Like I'll get anxiety over something and be like, that's stupid. Like, oh, you over message somebody. That's like, oh, okay, that's a common mistake that people make. You shouldn't beat yourself up over that. So I don't know. I just started talking, so but yeah, my co-host is here, so I'm gonna let him in. So just give me 1 second. Hey Casey.
Hi, how are you?
I don't even know. I'm a mess right now.
Oh my God, I just caught like the last couple of seconds of it and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? I'm just sending a tweet out right now. Come chat with us about the Housewives Cinematic Universe. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, hi, how are you?
I'm in the
You're in, you're going through some feelings, a couple of feelings.
yes. Oh
Oh,
my goodness.
well, that's fine. That's it around this time, especially during the holidays, it's a time where we overanalyze a lot of things, I think.
Well,
But
I'm naturally an overanalyzer, so I guess it's just this day in particular.
it's the
Because
first
usually
day of
I'm
solstice, right? It's like the first day of winter officially.
Yeah, usually I'm good at managing my overanalyzing and then my thoughts colliding with my brain, but as soon as I got on camera, I just let it
Lose.
all out. So
Of
I don't even
course.
know if tonight's episode is going to be staying live.
Don't worry, that's completely fine. Um, I mean, it's completely fine however you wanna like do the episode. You know.
Yeah, I'll probably leave it unlisted and then you could just edit my part out. For when we try to put it on the whatever
On,
we're
yes,
podcasting
on a
on.
podcast form. Yeah, yeah. I think that that would be easiest if it is unlisted. Um, because I should have access to it, right? I can still like,
As long as I send you the link.
okay, as long as I have the link, I should have access to it. That sounds good. Yeah, because it's easier to just what I would do is just download the whole, like, just the video, and then just take moments of like cutting and seeing what needs to be cut and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um,
Those first 15 minutes definitely need to be.
we will keep
I didn't
them.
say any names, but I think the people know who they are, and I don't want to get an
Ooh.
inbox. I thought we were cool, and now you're gonna put me on blast to one viewer.
Oh, oh my God.
But
Ooh.
honestly, though, I was talking about the group chats on Housewives Twitter and how they're it's just like mob mentality. Like
Oh
one
yeah.
person gets kicked out, and then everybody's like, "Oh, you're kicked out," and then you want to get back in the group. That's why you keep talking about the group. It's like nobody cares. I mean,
Mhm. I know you went out.
we all were like friends, and I just got booted out.
That's horrible. You,
And I've
okay.
heard from mostly none
Wait, you're going in and out. You're like cutting out partly.
of them. I thought I was friends about the book. So it makes me question: were they worth worrying about as friends to begin with? Because
Sorry, I got you just right now. What happened with the book?
nothing. I was just saying, like I did get kicked out of a group chat a few months ago, but
Hmm.
I thought these people were my friends,
Hmm.
which I guess
Yeah.
that was my fault. But like I haven't heard anything from them since I got booted, and it's like they haven't even given like a congrats about the book. So it's like
That's horrible.
were they worth worrying about to begin with?
No, I mean, honestly, I don't believe so. Because like the groups, this is the problem with like with Stan like Twitter is that like it's so toxic. Those people, like, when I got into that group chat, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna keep up with all these personalities. And then also like it's hard to even like try to establish yourself within somewhere, opposed to
Mm-hmm.
like, like, I mean, it's really hard.
Yeah.
But don't think about them, think about the success that you're going to have going forward. And if anything, I mean, it's just going to open your eyes, and those are the kind of people that you want to stray away from. um and really like make yourself different, make yourself just like disassociate,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Honestly, I'm thinking we might dedicate an entire episode just complaining about housewives.
Honestly, I think that would be a very great episode, just talking about how like the different, like, we are in this mindset, like if you don't go with that certain person, you're automatically like tossed, you're given this label of like, like
Mm-hmm.
horribleness, and it's toxicness, and it's really hard to navigate. That's why myself, like, I stopped like getting too vocal in the scene. I really did put myself on like the back burner, and like I was just like, no, I don't want to, because I just see how
Mm-hmm.
people are emerging, and how people are emerging either like for positive or for negatives. And I don't know. It's interesting to think, to look into it.
Like I feel like I got dragged, pun intended.
Mm.
I got dragged
Mhm.
to down to earth. Like I feel like
That's
I don't know, it's
horrible.
freshman year of high school all over again. Like
Hmm.
you realize this isn't stuff worth worrying about because last year, my freshman year, I was worried about like, oh, if I don't get along with these people, or what does that mean about me? What are they saying about me? Da 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 da. And it's just like, okay, but when I leave, this stuff is not following me. If they
Right.
still want to talk about me, good for them.
Hmm.
And like I feel like on Housewives Twitter, it got to a certain point after I got kicked out of that group chat. I was like, okay, but what's the point in worrying about it?
Yeah, of
Does this
course.
affect my book sales?
Hmm.
Does this affect my YouTube channel?
Hmm.
None of that. So I feel like people just need to get their head out of the clouds.
You're right.
Because some people have done and said some of the most vile things.
Yeah.
And it's like for a fan base that is supposed to just enjoy television, I think this fan base is part of the reason I don't like this season of Potomac.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and that's a great transition. But yes, the for me, I have been. That's why I have like taken my like presence a little bit out because like I like hearing what other people say on Twitter, but it's so hard to understand another person's like complaint or opinion about another person when I obviously when certain person feels a certain way, and we start to think about like it's an opinion and we should respect it, but if it doesn't go with our norm or if it doesn't respect us, we classify that person like mean. It
Yeah.
and I think that that's like an example, a perfect example. Like a lot of people are like, "What team are you right now?" By identifying you either by Team Monique or Team Monique or Team Candace. That within itself is just like an example of what also like Bravo has the opportunity to change that.
Hmm.
I do.
I feel like,
Mhm.
yes, I am a Candace stan, but at the same time, there is logically points wrong on both sides, and I
Of course.
acknowledge that.
Hmm.
And I feel like on Twitter is like, if you support this one person, you have to agree with all of this. Agree. Well, it's not even that you have to, but people assume that, and then
Hmm.
they start coming at you with, "Oh, so that means you think that." I never said that I agree with that. I'm saying
Hmm.
at this point, this is how I feel about this,
Yeah.
and it just goes back to get your head out of the clouds. Like, what are you getting out of by quote unquote taking someone down in a tweet? Literally the links that they people will go to.
Hmm.
Somebody accused somebody of being a child predator in DMs.
Oh my God.
This is not a season of Housewives. What
We're
the
not on
heck?
the show. Yeah.
Like,
That's.
this is supposed to be fun and entertaining for all of us, just to talk about shows that we like. That's why I got on there to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, I did not expect all of this. And back to the whole mob mentality of the group chats. It's just,
Hmm.
I'm like Mama Elsa that one episode. I'm just about to collapse.
Not the Mama
She
Elsa
said the
collapsing.
energy in the room, she felt.
Oh
I said, Mama
man.
Elsa.
Mama Elsa, rest in peace. I love her. She
I
is
love her
someone
too.
like I can go back and I will look for like just scenes of her. Like I don't even want to watch the episode. I just want to see what she was doing for like, episode 3, episode 4.
Like, I love that spinoff she had about the coffee.
Yes. And if you bought the out, I purchased the iTunes, like the iTunes pass, and they did a whole like it was like a mini episode, like the behind. No, what's those like those secret reveal specials,
Hmm.
and it was a whole scene with like Mama Elsa pitching the show, pitching the idea of her like going around Miami and selling like coffee to people, and I was like, get give her money, do this, let's make it
Skinny girl, who?
happen. Yes, yes. Honestly, they just don't know where to put their marbles. But also, I wanted to ask you: did you listen to the Nini of it all?
Yeah, that's why I was a little bit late setting up on her live stream.
I jumped in and I like was there for 2 seconds, and I saw comments were off, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna go away." I was like, "I'm gonna go away if she's not gonna like." I mean, I get it, but what can you report to us? What can you report?
I feel like she didn't say anything.
Oh, so she just said like don't. Well, her whole thing was boycott Bravo,
I mean, she
right?
says she doesn't want it to last forever, but she
Hmm.
wants the message to get to Bravo, which that is a logical way, in my opinion, to boycott. Like, you don't have to permanently stop watching, but at least for
Slowly.
enough time for ratings to drop, and then they'll be like, "What's the problem?" And then they'll look into it more so they can fix the problem, and then you can watch later. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
Because I feel like there are problems with Bravo, and I wrote a whole paragraph. Let me pull it
Oh,
up.
perfect. Hey, get the.
Because
I can list
so
a couple of things.
frustrated. I was so frustrated this morning. So let me see what I said. Because I don't like that people think the only reason that she wants to boycott is because she's no longer on the show. I don't feel like, I mean, under probably that is probably one of her motivations to speak up on the issues,
Yeah, it could be the drama
but
motivation
just
of it.
because that could be one of her motivations doesn't take away from the fact that there are other issues at Bravo. So I DM somebody. I said Nini's Bravo boycott makes sense to me at this point. They did Mariah wrong with her Married to Medicine rights and contract with her whole EP title.
Hmm.
That it's one thing that you wear on your head. I can't think of it right on top of my head, but it was for it represents her religion, and she wanted to wear it in one of her confessionals, and they told her she couldn't wear it.
Oh, that's horrible.
And then, Jaquanda said that Housewives of Atlanta production is allegedly getting underpaid. Then there's
Oh, I could
Nene,
see it.
how they did Nene's contract wrong. Um, the way they decided to still air Bronwyn and Kelly arguing over BLM, that
Hmm.
made me uncomfortable. Atlanta, Housewives of Atlanta showing the protest, not the protest, but the actual clip of
Hmm.
George Floyd being murdered. Like, and for
That was.
people that don't understand what's wrong with that is, as a black person, it's it's important that people are aware of what's happening, but at the same time, I don't want to watch that or hear that,
Hmm.
if you understand.
Right.
Because just me, I had somebody had sent me the Ahmaud Arbery video. Well, they didn't send it to me; they put it on their story, and I
Okay.
had watched it because I was like, "What is this?" And I was traumatized afterwards. So
I
that,
do get it. There are moments where, like, if you're scrolling through like media, people won't. I mean, there's great. It's. I understand the like the point they're trying to get to, but like a little reminder of like a, this has a graphic. This has a graphic image should be posted somewhere because I have
mhm,
not that situation, but like a situation I've seen multiple like clips that like are still embedded in my mind because like I didn't think it was gonna be escalated so quickly, you know.
mhm.
Hmm.
But like, I could not believe what I was seeing. I was just in shock. I was in disbelief. I was upset. I was angry.
Hmm.
I,
Yeah.
I was everything, and I said to myself, I said, I'm never going to make myself watch another one of these, because just seeing one shows me enough of how we as black people are being treated in this country.
Hmm.
And so then it's like I'm watching Atlanta in my free time to just, enjoy myself. And I hear this audio of George Floyd calling for his mother.
Hmm.
And I understand the point they might have been looking for. They want to show that this is a reality in our
Yeah.
country. But at
Hmm.
the same time, you can encourage people to watch it on their own time without showing it,
Hmm. Yeah.
because a lot of people could have got PTSD just from hearing that.
Hmm.
A lot of people turned off the TV after seeing that because they were uncomfortable. I just walked out of the room because I was like, I cannot sit here and listen to this.
Hmm.
Because even though they may be trying to do something right by giving this exposure,
Hmm.
at the same time, you're making a lot of people, uncomfortable. and I'm not gonna say a lot of people. I feel like white people getting uncomfortable, I don't care. You know,
No, yeah,
maybe you should do something about it,
mhm.
and you won't have to see this. But for black people, we're uncomfortable because we don't want to see that. We are aware of what's happening.
Mhm.
So I just feel like it wasn't necessary to show
Right.
audio. And that's just my opinion.
Like the
And then,
presentation, it
yeah.
could have been it could have been brought appropriately. Not appropriately. Well, no, I mean, because it's hard to say what is appropriate anymore. But like
Hmm.
I guess yes, like you said, the format, the way it was presented to the audience, the way it should have been handled with a little bit more, with more care, way more care. You
Hmm.
know, like read the room. But that's the problem. Bravo will read the room, but then they will say, no, the room said this out. Said this something else. So
Hmm.
allegedly, because
And it
Bravo.
makes me question how many showrunners and how many editors in the
Mhm.
room are black
Yes.
people. Because Carlos King in his interview, somebody interviewed him, and Carlos King said this, and it stood out to me. He said it is important that with a show like Housewives of Atlanta, that people of that culture are in the room telling
Mhm.
these stories. It only makes sense for, say, Shaws of the Sunset, people of that culture to edit that show so you tell
Right.
the story correctly.
Mhm.
So it made me think, was a white person in there? And they said, oh, let's put this in there to show why the protests are happening. Because
Mhm.
I feel like from Portia's confessional, let alone, she explained why she's out there protesting.
Yeah, there should have never been any supplemental like images that they went into, like um Portia's video feed, and the way she presents everything is good alone. I think it's great alone because
Mm-hmm.
it gives you like a proper, like, I think that's the proper method of like talking about the subject. Um
Mm-hmm.
because that video clip, I mean, it can be jarring to anybody, and like you said, PTSD is like, we're not going to be like, what was her name from Alexis? I don't want to have to go on a Xanax because of, you know
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely, and it's what we don't shed the light on those editors, those producers, and I mean, I guess we as like consumers, or I guess like as a Bravo fanatics, should be looking into seeing who is giving us the storyline. Because I mean, before this, I never even thought about producers or an editor. Never once did I ever think that they were the ones who doing the show. I always thought like Bravo, and when I mean Bravo, I mean like one person in Bravo is putting the show into a formula and it is spitting out, right? I never thought about that. And then I
Mm-hmm.
was starting to like question certain narratives, certain word choices from Housewives, from like the whole different installments. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just starting to wonder, like, well, obviously that's not right. Why are they presenting it like that? Why are they giving it to me like that? And then that's when I started going into more of like, oh, I have to like look into the idea that, we are given an edited piece of a person, and we have to take that as a not and not assume of a person, like just take that as a
Mm-hmm.
grain of salt.
I feel like when
There
I
should
was
be
talking
less
about
shed
Orange
on that.
County, I feel like it's important to show that not everything is what you see with certain people. But I would have rather released that as a deleted clip or something. That way, if I'm
Yeah.
aware ahead of time that this is what they're arguing about, and I saw it in the preview, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just fast forward through this part. But I just
It,
happened to, I had my phone away from me, but I still had my earphones in. And I'm
mhm.
listening to Kelly say all of these things. And I'm like, this should have been a deleted clip that you can access on the internet. And then they could have still brought it up at the reunion. But
Right. There should have been like
because
a
I'm
Bravo
here
insider
I am
like thing.
Here I am sitting here thinking, what were the repercussions? She's still holding an orange. She's still receiving a paycheck. She's still probably doing breasts.
I mean, if anything, this has probably banked her another season because she's so problematic now that people, and that's the problem. And I probably shouldn't be saying this, but like, I take those Bravo surveys. I'm gonna edit this out, but this is information for you. I take those Bravo surveys, the viewer's voice or whatever.
Yeah, I do those too.
You do too? Oh, perfect. Because so like you get like I've gotten sailing yacht. I got the sailing yacht before it even like premiered. They sent me questions about the names. They sent me questions about so like have seen them, and after a reunion, I wait for that email to come in because the first thing they send you is like your thoughts on this episode and like that episode, and when the reunion is completely wrapped and the season's wrapped, and if you're lucky, they will voice you to see how they did throughout the season, and it feels so good to get like that, like reassuring, like, oh, somebody is hearing either my opinion on like this person. I mean, granted, probably not much is going to go on, but like it's good to know that they are somebody, probably not the best person, because they're obviously not passing along this information over, um, is working and is trying to listen to that,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
it's
then I
great.
said, Married to Medicine LA, a black franchise, is allegedly getting the plug pulled on them.
Mm-hmm.
However, it receives the same ratings as Don't Be Tardy, starring a white woman who has on camera, on television, the clip is still accessible. She denounced the existence of racism aside from until, quote unquote, until social media existed. You continue to give a person like that a platform and expect us to applaud you for showing BLM.
Right, the small
Now,
little like
that's
the
not to
small
take away
little
from
thing.
Portia. I'm glad she's out here doing what she has to
Oh,
do
of
because
course,
that's in her
absolutely.
bloodline. I feel like
Yeah,
if she wasn't on the show, she'd still be doing that. But you can't
yeah.
expect us to be like, oh, yay, Bravo, you are doing it. You have TV specials talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you're not practicing what you preach,
Right.
essentially.
Uh,
And Andy, I've been picking up on this. It's a way he talks when it comes to the black franchises compared
Mm-hmm.
to the white ones.
Oh, yeah.
I personally am tired of the phrase, we at Bravo do not condone violence in regards to the Monique Candace fight and the Portia Kenya fight.
Never
Because
did
if
they.
that is the case, what would Jersey be as a show?
Mm-hmm.
What
Where
does
they give
Jersey
her
have to
money,
offer?
where they have literally glorified the idea of going to jail for fraud and still reward somebody that is like, I mean, allegedly, obviously, but it's horrible to see that display that we have as viewers. I would say, like, should I don't know, like, we should band together and be right at the Bravo headquarters. But it is horrible how Andy acts and how, like, it's at this point it's cringy. It's just like, get this man off of my like screen, or like let me hit mute and I will listen to the subtitles, or I will listen to the captions. Like at this point, like yesterday's episode of Potomac made me very, as a male, as a gay male, I was just so cringy the way he was acting in the whole episode, because it was just like, oh god, yeah, that's I don't know, it's horrible to think about it, because like we said, he's been there from day one, you know
Mm-hmm.
and he's gotten away with so many things, the way of like the the blatant segregation that he's done on the show, on the network itself. Like at first it wasn't funny. At first it wasn't. I don't know. It's just very it's very weird. And I guess we should have listened to
Kathy
what
Griffin.
Kathy Griffin a lot earlier. Like you know, we should have listened.
And what else?
Yeah.
Oh, Brandy Glanville. I just came back to my mind. You know, she had a racist
Oh
comment,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of still under the radar.
Yep.
And not only because I mean, people do say the time that it came out, oh, people weren't that focused on it. Because let's be honest, not too many black people watch Beverly Hills.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but it's this is the problem with Beverly Hills. It's so scripted for a series, for a friend, for one of those installments. It's very, it's scripted. The formula's there. We should be expecting it.
And mostly, I don't think Bravo would be what it was if it weren't for Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh, of course. I would say Atlanta itself placed and gave that desire to I would say to a community that was never before this. I don't, and I mean I don't. I'm trying to think in my knowledge of like reality TV because before Real Housewives of Atlanta, you probably had what the real. It was something. There was a reality TV show here in Beverly in Baldwin Hills, and that was like one of like a precursor like reality TV shows. I think before Atlanta, I could be completely wrong too. I don't know if you ever saw this show, but I live in the Baldwin Hills area in like South Central LA, so like I was aware of the area, and I love the concept. I think it was. I'm gonna be. I don't know. I want to say it was an MTV show. I want to say it's an MTV show. But before that, like, I don't think there was a clear, open acceptance on reality TV before Atlanta,
Yeah.
right? Because Atlanta really like paved its own self, has its developed, I would say, its own um, fandom and its own following. Um, for a long time too, and with for it to go the longest season without an OG to officially like stay on the, you know what I'm saying, to stay on the show.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows that itself, the show is running on its own, and it does not need to focus on like one person that we feel like needs to be home. Sorry, Nini, but like, I mean, I do kind of miss her, but I have a conspiracy theory that I have to bring up with you
Uh-oh.
about. I know I love conspiracy theories before noon. Before noon, I think that's the best time to get your conspiracy theories thought. And I post them on my Twitter all the time, but not all the time. But I leave them in my drafts. Um, but what do you think of the episodes
They're
overall?
there for Atlanta.
Yes.
I understand that they're filming during the pandemic and everything, but
Yeah.
I think that's probably what it is. Because I it's like I laugh at it while I'm watching it, but when I finish it, I feel like I didn't get anything out of it.
Yes. I'm gonna say right, because like by this time we expect something big, or like a big like reveal, or some big like something, at least from history in Atlanta. Especially for it to be the third episode and for it to not go with like such a like a like I guess we're I mean like the idea of like BLM and that movement is understandable and everything is great, but like we have to think about it. This is a TV show that that the viewers are coming to see. So
Mm-hmm.
if I don't know, it was it was hard to get through. I loved
Yeah.
it, but it was hard to get through because I was like hoping that they just give us something else, but instead they gave us. I'm going to be very honest. I turn off the TV when Ralph comes on my screen. I don't. What are your thoughts on Ralph? I wrote a whole page dedicated just to Ralph, so I think I might be obsessed with him. But it just makes me like want to like I don't know. I just want to tell the producers to just like stop the scene and just like get her away from this like situation. Like
Hmm.
let produce like at this point producers need to change need to really do what are your thoughts on Drew and Ralph? At least the relationship wise, because they
Relationship
don't
wise, I
align
think
great.
there are issues there. I'm glad that they're taking the steps to go to couples therapy.
Right.
Um, I think when it comes to Ralph, he has a lot of insecurities.
Yeah.
Considering when Drew was like, "Oh, we're going to therapy," and he was like, "So you already told her things about me, so she has a bias." I feel like he's always on the fence. Maybe something's happened early in his life that we don't know about.
Yes.
But I do know, like
Hmm.
with a lot of people, if something happens, you can tell as they carry on if they have a lot of insecurities or. But
Yeah.
I don't think he's one of those people that's just a straight up bad person
No,
because there are
I
some
think
house husbands who are actually messed up. I'm like, Michael Darby,
horrible.
why do you exist? Why are you on the show?
Why? I know
Why
why
are
the
you on
fact
the
that they
payroll?
still give that man like microphones. Like he still gets mic'd. Like that's how horrible it is. Like Michael should not be given a microphone anymore.
And I am disgusted
Yeah.
once again towards Andy how
Hmm.
they bring up the video within
Yeah.
seconds. We're done talking about it.
Yes. We're over. And
It just goes
it,
to show you white privilege. I'm sorry.
oh
I have to
yeah.
say it.
Oh,
Let that
it's
have been
embedded.
Wendy and her husband.
Hmm.
It would not be the same picture.
Mm-mm. And it also that clip was going around with when he sort of like shut down Monique and he said, well, like, money was coming in, it's sort of insinuating like, oh, there is no more like profit a turn. And Monique set him honestly to the side and said, oh, he has an investment profile. And I think that was like the best
Yeah, I
checkmate
noticed that
you could
too. I was
possibly make.
like,
It was horrible. I was like,
it
wait, wait,
felt
wait,
like
what?
a racial stereotype. Or
Yes.
even just a athlete stereotype. I don't know. But it
Yes.
felt like Andy was stereotyping them, just going, oh, well, obviously you don't have much money aside from the show. And it's like, I think if we're going to talk about who doesn't have money aside from television, I was about to say Giselle, but you know what? I'm going to just clamp my tongue. I'm not going to say
That
that.
house has been on
Let's talk
construction
about
for a
Andy
year and
Cohen.
a half.
Andy,
Oh yeah.
what would you be able to afford if you weren't on the Bravo payroll? I don't think you'd be doing. Hold on, let me allegedly. I don't think you
Allegedly.
allegedly would be doing the amounts of cocaine that you do. That Kathy Griffin and Danielle Staub have said that you do. I don't think you'd be living in that penthouse, not feeding that baby. Stop.
Oh my
You should be taking care of your baby, a little baby that's home by themselves.
Oh my god. The the fact that you were able to quote. Oh my god, oh my, I'm trying to
Kelly
think who
Dodd.
there you go. Oh, at the drag bingo. Oh my god. Right? It was at the drag bingo.
Is I'm
I
pretty
miss.
sure there's a reason that that dog left. Even though he said he gave up the dog. You was neglecting that dog. Somebody found out about it. Allegedly. That's just my conspiracy theory. I'm pretty sure that dog was barking all day. Andy was out on his grinder dates, snorting that cocaine. The
Oh,
dog's just
probably.
barking. The neighbor probably went in the apartment and said, "What? This dog looks starved. Nobody's feeding this dog."
That's why whenever he was only nice on camera.
You know what? I'm gonna call in to watch what happens live whenever they start letting people call in again. I'm gonna be like, Andy, do you feed your baby? And he gonna be like, yeah, he does. All In by Teddy Mellencamp.
Ah! He did. He's got a premium membership. Teddy herself is on his consulting team. Oh my god, I'm so done.
I know her Thanksgiving table
I'm
is
keeping
depressing.
this in. Oh, I'm pretty sure. I mean, imagine not being able to eat anything. Whew.
Oh my gosh. It's the way that Teddy thought she was safe from getting dragged by quitting the show.
She really did. Like, and this is the problem. Housewives need to stop complaining about like what they were given or not what they get in return. You know, like
Mhm.
you.
At the same time, fans are crossing a line,
Yeah.
but
Yes. Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like, in a sense, you know what you sign up for when you come on as the villain. I would hate to see the messages Kenya's got since she got on, because
Yeah.
everybody hated Kenya when she first came.
And I'm still like I'm learning to love her. I'm learning to love her because I get very not cringy, but like I understand that she's doing what she's doing for the cameras and I love it in a way, but I just sit there and I'm like, oh, sometimes, you know,
I like what she
I'm learning to
contributes, but
love
I feel
Kenya.
like her personal scenes are just kind of. Can you be the Faye Resnick of the show, the Kim D of the show? Like I would say the Marlo of the show, but I think Marlo is kind of, she gives more than Faye Resnick and Kim D as far as
Yes.
like personal scenes. So can you be the Faye Resnick of the show? Just let her pop up. Like, she obviously should be in every episode, but as far as personal scenes, I'm sleep.
Yes, they do need to introduce someone. Like I think Marlo, if we got to learn more about Marlo's life, that would be great. Because it would just be the revitalizing that this show I wouldn't say particularly needs, but if we're going in the same direction that we're going now, I think something needs to change on this screen. And granted, maybe they're keeping this like season very like under wraps. I really have missed the times and moments where like I watched a season and I was truly genuinely shocked with what I was given, you know? I think
Mhm.
that the last season that I ever had that was probably like Real Housewives of I would say like the first season of Heather first season of like New York. Not New York. No, for Heather's first season on New York. There you go. That sounds very weird. But
Holla.
season, what is it, five? Season 5 or 6?
Yeah, season 5.
5, yeah. So I think that was the first season where they slowly, and I mean like Bravo and like the people in the Bravo executives thought like, let's start leaking things out to the press and like let's start leaking out like show like storylines and stuff. And I hate that. Like for me, I hate that we go every day knowing what Marlo ate, what she drank in between the filmings, you know, like oh,
Mhm.
it's hard. I mean, it comes to that point where like I need that surpriseness. I need that like I need to be like just I don't like knowing everything that's gonna go on. Is what I'm
It's
trying to
like
say.
I
As
appreciated
a
pages that
yes,
would be dedicated to
do
tea, but
that.
now it's at the point where the housewives are leaking tea to them. Like, I like it when they gave us something to theorize, but now it's literally
Yes.
that person in particular is telling them something. Like, it's been said once or twice allegedly that Bronwyn's been leaking stuff about this season, and Elizabeth,
Two
you know,
Faces
she
by
has,
Bravo, I believe.
yeah, faces by
I
Bro.
think that's the Instagram, right?
See,
They
I
were
don't want
on
to
it
talk
and they were
trash
bragging
about
how
that.
like they've been on this season.
I
Well, I
don't
mean,
want to talk
I'll cut
trash
his
about
name
that
out though.
account,
I'll cut
but
their
like,
name out.
yeah, let's put in a
I'm
sensor
not
like,
their account. I
"Boo."
mean, I love the yeah, and then,
They're
yeah.
funny,
No,
but
I'll
it
say
gets
like
to a
that's
certain
my
point where
opinion. I'll put
they're
somebody.
literally the Bronwyn of the
Mhm.
fan base. They show up out of nowhere and they just
Yes,
desperate. He's like, "Oh, I'm friends
it's
with
hard
Bronwyn.
though.
I'm friends with Monique's brother. Oh, now I'm friends with Monique. I have to align my loyalty to them." And it gets to a certain point where it's not even like memes and stuff we laugh at anymore, but it's just literal bias. And I'm like, okay, it's other meme pages, it's other memes in the sea.
Yeah.
Who else can I find?
Yeah,
Like
there's
I don't
other
mind a
memes in the
bias
sea.
because
There's
we're all
other memes page. Right now, I'm a big fan of ironically Bravo, and I'm pretty sure that's wrong, but it's called ironically Bravo. They started off as being like the stoner Bravo, and I was like, oh, I love. And then they
I just
rebrand
found it.
themselves,
I'm
and I
about
was
to
like, we
follow
love a good
them.
rebranding. So they're
But
so
yeah, I
funny.
just
They came up with some really funny, and I follow their Twitter too.
hmm
Hmm.
I don't mind a bias though. Like I'm not gonna get mad if you have a bias, but
Of
when it's
course,
the point where it's like, oh, they're my best friend, I did drag with their son. It's like, how
yeah.
desperate are you?
Yeah, you're phasing that like lines of reality. Like, there's been, I would say, like another not a podcast, like maybe Danny Pellegrino, like he's been slowly going into that. Like, I start to hate when like people, like blogs and like places like that, jump into that like universe, you know? It's like, yes, I understand that you like it as much, but like try to stay away from it because
Mm-hmm.
like Danny, you know, he's been asking, and obviously, poop. He's been like interviewing all the housewives, and it sort of comes to the point where like, oh well, I found you interesting because like your thoughts weren't as driven, but I do feel like this season with Potomac, he's been like obviously he gets screeners, and like he's obviously like trying to like cultivate and like he manipulates the story into favoriting, a little bit
Mm-hmm.
of, this person and this person. So it's like it's hard when you like have to like come back into the realization that like we need to take not too much of a seriousness here,
Yeah, it
you
gets
know.
to a point where it's like me, I had to take the time and be like, there are other things you like. Like I had to take a break. Well, it wasn't a break because I still watched the stuff while it was
Hmm.
airing, but I was like, I need to take time during the day,
Hmm.
not looking for Housewives means. Let me binge something on Netflix. What
Hmm.
else is going on? Look, I think Cynthia got
Yeah.
boring after a certain amount of time on the show, but I'm a quote her. What else is going on?
Um, yes, I wrote this down. I wrote this down. Cynthia and Mike. Uh, they are making this wedding storyline the story of the show, and I feel that was part of my conspiracy theory, and that's why Nene left because I don't think Nene had an actual, and it made me, but this is me just not knowing anything about Nene, right?
Hmm.
But this is me thinking like maybe production team sought out an easy season with this idea of it being so easy to like make it very problematic opposed to like
Hmm.
trying to find a reason to make a season out of a show with Nene. I don't know. I like I said, this is my conspiracy, and I could
I
get
still feel
very
like
thing
this
completely
season's been
wrong.
missing her though. But
Yes,
I miss
yeah.
the
There's been
old Nene. Like I know
oh yeah,
season
like
11
old
there
pre
was no
nose, like
way.
pre nose
But no,
job.
season 10 was really good for her too. The door is closed.
Yeah, that's when she
It's
came.
Greg's cancer that really we
Is
saw her
putting a burden on her.
it
It,
slowly
it-
made her lose it. And then she turned on everybody. So then she kind of tried to come back in because she was in a better place, but everybody else wasn't ready to deal with that. So then they kind of isolated her.
and I
And
hate
then
that. Like, I hate this idea of like women, the housewives playing and being like, "Oh, we're just gonna like isolate a person." So that I'm like, no. Like,
it's self
if that is
destructive.
being seen, it is. If I think producers should take an active like, no. If that is being seen, like the contract should be tossed at them in front of a confessional and be like, "You're going. I'm done with this." Like, I mean, granted, that could have like given us a whole different like season with like Beverly Hills, but like I think that producers need to come to that realization that like these girls are playing to fight to to sort of I'm not in for that, you know.
Hmm.
I hate when like that's the whole thing with like Potomac. I mean, we had to endure a whole season with not a whole group setting since what episode 7, episode 6, and we're at what, episode 20 now. So like, you know, it also it makes it, for me, it felt like the season didn't do anything because I didn't
Mm,
feel like they were all together, if that makes sense. Do I
mhm.
make myself, does it make sense of sense?
Yeah, it's
I do feel
self-destructive
like we
because
were
look
like
at
taken
how
away. Mhm.
because there was so much potential with season 12 of Orange County.
Yes.
Like, get
Hmm.
Vicky to show up because Peggy said herself that she felt like
Hmm.
producers were trying to push her to ask more questions about Cancergate because Peggy had cancer at the time. So they were kind of alluding to a
Yeah. You
confrontation.
did
Like,
you?
why would you fake cancer? Why would you? Da, 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 da.
Hmm. But
But
I
I'm
saw her
glad
little
they
like.
didn't.
Mhm.
I was gonna say I'm glad they didn't do that because that would be what essentially we did get another season of Cancergate, but not as
Yes.
big
Yeah.
as it was in season 11.
Right. Right. Because there was, besides that, there was other driving storylines. You know.
Hmm.
Right. This was the season that like Tamara was trying to become Christian again, and
Lydia
what
was
did that
back on
season?
the scene. Yep. If you can't say, look, I
Uh.
already know what you're about to say about Doug.
Mhm. Ah, mm. I still, to this day, I followed her loyally, and then I saw that she was an anti-masker, and I was like, "Oh no, girl!"
She
Unlike
said,
her little
"My
children, like, you know,
son is broken."
I am not gonna be a deer. She legit put a deer or something. She said, "I'm not gonna be a deer for this," and I was like, "Listen, I'm like, you live in a big ass house, like, or probably don't live in a big ass house anymore, but like, I'm just like,
The
get
Bravo check
out
stopped
of
clearing.
yourself." Right, yeah.
She made a
I'm
total of
telling you,
one
there's a
dollar for
paycheck.
Town.
And it didn't even come out, did it? I don't even.
It's on
I'm
Bravo's
happy I didn't
website.
see it. Oh, that's gross.
I
I'm
only
happy I
checked it
didn't.
out
Yeah,
because they when they dropped the press statement for it, it was like there's gonna be cameos from Gretchen, Lizzie, Alexis. They popped on for half a second.
Oh. Well, they're like in the parking lot while they're saying goodbye to each other. That's the only cameo you got.
Cause she had like a party for a
That,
success,
leave it to Bravo.
and then they were literally there for half a second.
Well, I mean, you had to be successful, so I guess Lydia, she stayed home that night. How does that work? How do you host a party? How, how do you host a party for success and you're not gonna be present for it? What does that mean? What does that
Oh
mean?
my
I'm just
god, I
kidding.
cannot with
Did I do it right? No, like, did I do it right? Did I do a
What
thing?
did New York say? She's nothing
No,
like
but I
that. She's
mean,
nothing of the sort.
there's the, how do you host an event for successful women from home? I mean, if anything, I mean, Zoom has just probably helped her. She probably,
Well, they filmed it before the pandemic broke
oh,
out.
before the pandemic. Oh, dang. I could just
That
wish
would have been
I
funny,
would
a
want
Zoom
this.
call. No,
Oh, that
imagine they
lady
filmed
there.
it during the pandemic after we were aware that Vicky got fired. Vicky begs Lydia for a Zoom invite, and then she gets on. But look, Bravo, I'm back on screen. You're gonna put me back on payroll.
Oh my god! But I know that Vicky gets a check as soon as she's on some sort of like Bravo, like on. Oh god,
I still want Vicky
that
back. I
I'm
don't. I want
dying.
her to come back. I don't want Kelly to expose
Bring
Bronwyn.
her
I
as
want it
a.
to be Vicky because Bronwyn was like, I don't like Vicky. I want Vicky to be like, well, you're strangling your daughter.
My thought forever. My thought forever was bring in Brianna as the official housewife, and then we get Vicky as, you know, a mother and that's fine, 'cause I feel like Vicky
Yeah.
has always played that mother like role, and I think that would be great. But then like Brianna's like husband, just he's another like person that makes me just cringe. Like, don't give him the platform because he is
Mm-hmm.
another like Ryan, um, adult child, and it's horrible because like the way that's one thing. The way he talked to Lydia's mom, I probably am not, like I said, not a big fan of Lydia, but I stand her. I stood her at some point. I was Lydia at some point for a project. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm pretty sure for a project and before, but when I was like, what am I trying to say? But when what's his name? Ryan? Is it Ryan? No, it's Brian. I
Yeah,
don't know. It's Brianna's husband. When he yelled at, oh yeah, when he yelled at Lydia's mom, I was like, no, you don't yell at an older lady. I'm like, you don't do that. I'm sorry. What? I'm like, that's just disrespectful. And so when after that moment, I was like, Brianna, I'm sorry. We could have like gotten you as a, we would have gotten you as a check, but not anymore. Not from that moment. I'm like, I don't ever want to see her on my screen ever again. I'm like, give Vicky her orange back.
I'm setting the scene right now. Vicky shows back up. Bronwyn throws some shots at her like, "You've been talking about me in articles," and then Vicky be like, "You're a horrible wife. You slap your husband. Who slaps their husband? You're supposed to love him."
Oh my God, I
He's
could
gonna divorce you.
honestly love. I would love to see that. And then just like a zoom in on like a cricket like Vicky, and then in her confessional, she's hands up. She's like, "What? What?" I said, "What?" You know? Oh my God! Honestly, bring more with like. I would like to see uh Vicky's reaction to like Bronwyn and her whole like she's that yeah. It's a mess.
I
I
don't care
don't
about
think that
wind.
that was the
That
best. The
confessional.
best. That was the best read and a white lady has ever done. I was like,
My
okay, I was
God,
like, she
I
got
don't
it
care about
there.
Brown to win.
I was like, there is some gay PA that told her that, and she's happy that she said it. She's like, I got to repeat it, and people
You're
like
not
gave me
mother. You don't know what
respect.
it's like. You only have children to stop drinking. You should stop drinking. You're crazy.
Oh my God! And then just like Kelly in the back, oh,
I want to be friends with
or
you. And then Emily's gonna be like, "Why is
what are your
Vicky freaking out? She's crazy. She should go get a therapist." But you know who should also get a therapist? Tamara. Tamara. And I'm be like, she ain't on the payroll.
on this show? She
Look, what is
should
it?
be at this point. The way they just. What is me and my husband got COVID because Emily and her husband got COVID, right?
Hmm.
Are you watching Orange County? Are you
Yeah,
watching Orange County?
unfortunately. Unfortunately. I really like Elizabeth though.
It's just really.
I
What
like
is
her
it? Like,
energy.
what's the thing that makes her
She reminds me of
okay?
some like an awkward school person that nobody's really friends with her, but she just shows up.
She just shows up and she's still there. Like she's still trying to be a part of the group.
It's like somebody said Dana Pam.
Oh my God! That actually got the full time. Oh
My
my God!
son
Did
left
it
$5,000
$20,000? Did I tell you? Did you hear? $20,000.
gold plated.
Oh my God! Yeah, I can see it now. Now that you said that, I don't.
I
I
forgot who it was
can.
she was talking to, but she's like, I don't know that Brandy is a good fit in our circle. I'm like, you ain't a good fit in the circle.
You are not. Oh God! But
Her and
are you gonna? Uh huh.
oh, what were you saying?
Oh, nothing.
No, what were you
Okay,
saying?
fine.
I was just throwing a
Oh
little
no, I
dig.
was gonna ask if you're gonna. Oh, they go.
Huh?
Oh, I said you could go do your thing. I said I was just gonna ask you if you were gonna watch the reunion. If you were
I,
ready for the reunion.
I want to know if Bronwyn's getting taken down, and is Gina getting the Andy seat?
Oh, you think? What is your chart? What's your reunion chart? Do you
Um,
have one? Have you
I
thought
have
about
one
it?
want to happen, but I feel like there's one that I think is gonna happen. I see Bronwyn. I want Bronwyn and Gina to have the Andy seats because I feel like they had the best storylines. In actuality, it'll
Okay.
probably be Bronwyn and Kelly or Bronwyn and Shannon. In my
I
one,
think it's gonna be yeah.
what are we gonna say?
Mhm. No, go for it.
Um,
Uh-huh.
on the
I was
left couch,
thinking it.
Kelly, Elizabeth, Emily. Right couch. No. Well, I don't know. They all seem like they hate each other. Well,
Honestly, I do think that this is
it's
one of the
neutral.
casts that it's you can put them in literally anywhere
What? Yeah,
because
because they are gonna be socially distanced, so who cares? I just want Bronwyn and Gina to have Andy seats.
okay, those are okay. I'm same. I think Kelly and Bronwyn are going to be the center seats. I do think that I mean they because I don't think that Shannon brought it. I mean, what she got COVID. Woohoo, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
market
yeah,
was
we
on
like.
toilet paper.
And did you see the way that her like there was a smile on her kid's face when they were chatting lately, when she got coronavirus.
Her
Um
kids are something
yes,
else. Does nobody have respect for
so
her?
embarrassing.
She says stay in the house, and her daughters got the virus, and then her husband got the.
Mhm.
Nobody
And
in that
the
house
thing is
respects
that
her.
like she plays the blame guard. Oh no. Heck, not even like the dogs. I don't even think the dogs respect her.
Archie doesn't respect her.
Her mailman doesn't even respect her. Mail person doesn't even respect her. They literally probably just toss the mail on the ground. Like, you can go get this yourself. We want to cry about everything. Um, my so it, I would say in the center would be yes.
Maybe he got coronavirus.
I
I don't want my mail to have corona on it.
ladies and
Amber's
gentlemen from the
talking
Orange
about
County herself.
me. Bro said I said Gina's also sad and depressing.
Oh my god. Okay. Let me
What
tell
is
you. Okay, so I was just doing my
poor
um
victim?
okay, so this I was just as we were talking, I was like, let me do this right. I want to give you my prediction
Uh-oh.
of these arrangement. Yeah. So I think it's gonna be like we said, Kelly, Andy, Bronwyn, right? But at the far, we're gonna have Elizabeth, and then it's gonna be Shannon, and then it's gonna be Kelly, and then we're gonna get Andy, and then Bronwyn. And then I'm thinking Gina's gonna be next to Bronwyn because they're slowly showing us that there's like a loyalty, a friendship that is developing amongst them. So I feel like
I
they're
really
gonna be
don't.
sitting next to one another. Huh?
I
And
don't
then
know
Emily on
because
the
after
on the corner.
this rap, Bronwyn was all in the articles talk about. I don't like Gina, but I respect her. I'm like, but y'all just made up on camera.
You see, and that's because I feel like they have some sort of like pact. They have to have a pack of some sort. Ooh, sorry.
Bronwyn doesn't make sense. She wants to isolate herself from everybody, but
think
Now,
she's
Kelly,
doing
I
that
wouldn't
press
be
tour.
associated with her either. But it's like, Ron, what you doing to me? You want to be the villain, but what you're going to end up doing is getting completely cut from the cast.
Mhm.
She's literally going to be the Danielle Starr. She already threw a glass. What child did she hold at gunpoint? Allegedly.
Oh my
Maybe Rowan. She said, "Eat your food right now. Eat your vegetables right now." Sean is just tied up, like, "Don't do it.
that
Don't."
don't do that's a crazy dark. It's a dark uh there's a dark household there. Like there's something not nice.
The
I don't know.
calmly
There was a moment in
said,
time where she
I slapped him in front of the kids. I'm like, at least be like Shannon
not
McBride.
even knowing.
I slapped Sean in
Hmm?
front of the kid. I don't know what I'm turning into. Like, I'm literally, where's Dr. Moon?
What if it was
Where's
Kelly Dodd? Oh my god.
No, Kelly would be like, yeah,
It,
I slapped Sean. He got on my nerves, that little dork.
mm. Oh my god, yes.
Emily would probably
Ah. But I
give
mean,
her. My hand touched his face because he said a comment to me about my weight.
right? It would have been the way, yeah, like each of these ladies can
I had an
explain it
acid
in a funny,
reflex and my arm
different way.
up at a 45-degree angle, touching his face, but I did not assault.
Oh, so let's talk about Potomac a little bit. Because I mean, Atlanta is just my notes. Like I said, my notes are all a whole page of just Ralph. Made me very, made me very mad. I said Drew and Ralph is a bad relationship. Like it's
Literally,
toxic.
the timeline was drooling over Ralph as soon as he came on screen, just by the end of that episode. 180.
Oh yeah. I loved him to start, and then at the end of it, I was just like, get this man off of my screen. Like like it's just how they're okay. I wrote this down. I think I cringe. Oh, so I cringe because Ralph. This is so embarrassing. I cringe because Ralph is going. Oh yeah, because okay. I feel like Ralph is gonna do an Apollo storyline where he is gonna end up owning money, in some ways. There's just like so for me when I was listening, what the heck was that? This is not the neighborhood we do that. There when Drew was asking Ralph about the house, I don't know if you picked up on little like moments, but like his voice was shaking when he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll figure it out." He's like, "I'm gonna buy the house." Like I don't know the way he was like changing her subject. It was sort of like, "Oh, this is a red flag." Like for me, it was a red flag right away. You know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'll be at Potomac. At this point,
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, yeah, Potomac. Yeah,
She can go. She
yeah.
can
Don't give.
go.
Yeah, like let her go. Yeah, I think just set her free from the contract, like
Honey
I
can
think
go at this
it'd
point.
be best if you just give. Huh?
Oh, what were you saying?
Oh, I was thinking like the best thing for Ashley right now would be for her to move into like a Food Network style show where she's just telling you how to you know make like have her teach me how to make stuff, food and stuff. Like I think that would be the best role for her because like I feel like she knows how to take direction and she knows how to give directions out. I don't think that she is purpose. I don't think she's like. I don't think she should be with Michael anymore. Like, run with those two children. You know,
Yeah.
secure a nice little like money from them for them, but like
Erica Jane.
run away. Oh, oh my God,
Money
that's a
embezzle.
mess. Embezzlement. She said, "Hey." She called Robin. She said, "Can you just send me the name of your like the logo of your of embellished? I just need to use it for something." And she probably cut out the embellished part, and she just used the embezzlement instead. I don't know. By Erica Jane. Imagine. I could see her trying to profit, trying to make money off of this. You know. Embezzlement by instead of it's like hats. They're hats that are like just Erica Jane style.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
But no, I honestly feel like Monique can go at this point.
Yeah,
Like part
I
of
do
me
think
wants
that like
her on the show, but the reason I think she should go is the same reason that
100%.
he shouldn't come back for season 11.
Who be?
Hmm?
Who?
I said
You said who
the
shouldn't
same
come back?
I said the same reason that Denise shouldn't come back for season 11. Because
Oh
Monique
yeah.
is telling people that she decided not to film with the group for the rest of that season. That's what she telling people. She said, "Well, I'm not gonna film with people who don't want to film with
Oh.
me." So I don't know if it's they refused to film with her or she refused to film with them. Either way, they don't want you on the show no more. You can go.
Mm-hmm.
And I
The
don't agree
Candace
with people
Owens.
trying to push
Yeah,
people off
I
the
would
show.
say.
It's no point of having this divide there just for one person.
Sorry, somebody. There's like an alarm going off on a car, and I'm just trying to mute my. Up there it goes. Okay, it's fine. It started going off, and I'm like, somebody get your car keys really quickly. Like, um, yes, I think what with Monique, I think what the best choice for Potomac to what they would be to do would be let's keep Karen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then let's just recast the whole show. No,
No, that's too much.
that is way too. No,
Karen and
honestly, I
Wendy.
would. Well, this is okay.
Let's
Okay,
see
I
who.
kind of like.
How
Okay, so
many of
this is
them
going to
are
be my
going to get
proposal.
4 degrees?
I'm sure she can find like some friends that have a couple of more degrees than her that can like come on the show. I would like to see Karen, Robin, and Wendy. Bring
Yeah,
those three back.
give us
Bring
New
those
York,
three back because there's
the New York
yes,
shake.
give us a completely yeah. We need to come and especially season 6. But I mean because like Candace has done her thing. Monique has done her thing. Ashley has done her thing. Giselle, she never even did anything. Like the street was, I'm sure there was no. I'm sure that I'm convinced that there was no street cleaning in Potomac because if she said that she was the word on the street, come on. I have gotten to the point where like Bravo is trying to obviously sell me Giselle because they're giving me Bravo's chat room and
Well,
it's gonna
she
be
has
hard for
Bravo's
them to
chat
say
room,
like
but she
don't come
doesn't
back
need
to
to
the
come
show.
back.
You see, I'm hoping that that's what they lined her up for. That this is the easiest way to do a shakeup if because Giselle, let's be honest, Giselle versus um Karen, that was gonna be the big like one of those two was gonna hold on to the series. Like let's be that because they've got into the sixth season, and they're gonna do a big shakeup. They need to do a big shakeup. And I think
I
it
wouldn't
for
mind
me it makes sense for
Robin
them to
being the
give
new York
Giselle. Huh?
No, keep going.
What was that?
I didn't hear that you were talking.
Oh no! What are you saying about Robin?
No. I'm still holding on to it. I can wait.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I was just saying that I think that it would have been hard for them to do a big shakeup, and one of them not getting a project from Bravo. I think would between both of them. And
Hmm.
I think Giselle wants, I don't know. I mean, I'm not, I mean, I'm obviously talking for her, but at the same time, like, Giselle will be Giselle, but Giselle likes the camera, and like, it's very apparent that she doesn't want to tell us more about herself. And she wants to just sort of like talk and opinionate on things. And that makes sense why they gave her the Bravos chat room, because it's like, at the end of the day, like, it's going to be another person just talking, like, there are going to be some people that agree with her, and then there's going to be some people that are not going to agree with her. And with
Hmm.
Karen, I feel like she's a little bit more likable, that she wouldn't be able to do well on a show like Bravo's chat room. And I think that that's what we're expecting. I'm expecting a big shakeup with Wendy being kept on, Robin being kept on as possibly maybe even a friend, and then just like revamping it, like bring Katie back, maybe.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, she's been doing some things, but she's in LA now, I think. Um, but bring us, like, give us something better. I don't know.
Hmm.
Not something better, because like obviously what we've been given is the best, but it's I mean, I think we're just sort of used to this formula of like having a shakeup.
Hmm.
And I'm really hoping that Potomac, at least with this, that it stays true with it.
Yeah, I would go with the same cast
Mhm.
because I honestly wouldn't
Yeah,
mind
right.
Robin being the longest lasting OG alongside Karen.
Same, same. The thing is that like I've gotten to the point where like Robin is just, she feels like somebody I know, you know?
Hmm.
Like she either feels like an aunt of mine, a coworker of mine. I don't know, like someone that I have, like, that should have. I know that there's nothing going on in their life, but like they just need to get like they need to be a personality of some sort.
Okay, I can hear again. My
Okay.
internet went out for a second. I was like, I can't hear anything.
Okay.
But yeah, as long as Robin keeps dancing, she's better dancer than Rena. Um,
Hmm.
as long as we see more of her dynamic with her kids, because her kids a mess.
Oh my God, yeah. But I don't know, they relate to me. I relate to them some way. The way they just casually make fun of their mom within like them even trying, like, I strive to be them one day when I grow up.
Hmm.
But also, I mean, like, Juan Dixon, like, keep that man on my screen. I mean, if it, if even if it's like, even if we have to give Robin's title sequence away to Robin, like, I mean, to Juan, let's make that happen. Like, I want to see Juan do a little twirl. I want to see him holding onto the champagne flute. Like, sure, I know it's Robin, but like, yeah. And that's another thing that I don't like with Atlanta, is that they're trying to like make the husbands have like their own voice, and it's like, no, 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 no. Like, I'm watching The Real Housewives. I there was yeah, I don't know. They've been giving so many scenes to Mike Chill. I feel like he's probably paid the production in some form and shape to get so much screen time,
I'm
because
sorry.
they're
Am I talking to Peter or Patricia?
yes, the best.
Am I talking to Mike or Michaela?
One of the best. I feel like that's what Cynthia looks for a man,
Yeah. I was
and
talking
I mean, all power to her. All power to her. But
No, I was about to
sometimes
say
it's
the
not working.
timeline is always so H word when it comes to some of these house husbands. So the way that Chris was yelling in the finale, somebody said, "Oh, I wish Chris would beat me up and yell at me like."
Oh my god, these people don't have. Oh my god, you could tell some people have just. Their parents never said "I love you" to them. You could tell. What else did they say? Like I know,
I
like
guess it was. I guess it was the aggression in his eyes. They like, yeah, just bring that energy to the bed.
not in the bed. Oh my god. Wait, wait, can you read that again? They said the way he yells. Oh
No,
my
no, no.
god. You could just
So
what was
they
how
didn't
did
say
it was
yells, but they were like, it was a screenshot of Chris yelling after he got separated from Michael because you remember he was like
okay
mad at Michael.
at the finale.
Somebody
Okay.
said, "I wish he would beat me up." He would beat me up and call me the F word. He would make me so H word.
Oh my god. Now I know what the F word was. Oh my god.
No, literally, they didn't
Some
even say
people
the
are
H. They didn't even say the word. They just said H word. Like, why does Twitter do
F.
that now? They just say a letter and then say word. Like, oh, okay, I know what word you're talking about.
Oh. Yeah, no. No,
No,
I
and then they
don't.
took a
Like
screenshot of Juan when Juan was yelling at Michael, telling him to calm down. They said, "Oh, I wish Juan would yell at me like that." I'm like, y'all have no
there's some
chill.
people that just need to be told, right? If you know somebody, like you just tell them you love them because that's probably what they're missing.
Honestly,
That's yeah,
I
just
wonder
just
how H
if
word they would
later
have got
today
if they
send
were
a
at
text
Pillow
message to
Talk. They like
somebody.
yelling. They should have been at Pillow Talk.
Oh my
I bet Apollo
god.
would make them burst.
Oh my god, um that itself was I mean Apollo, have you seen that picture with Apollo and Peter?
No, you gonna have to send it to me.
I'm gonna send it. It's I don't know, like Apollo just looks very different after being, back into life. And I feel like they're getting very buddy buddy
Mhm.
and you
They
could
both
just
been
see
financial.
well, you gotta stick to the people you like, stick to the people who like you. Um I feel like they secretly had an arrangement.
You think Apollo and Peter hooking up?
I mean, think about it. I mean, if
I
I think
think
about
Apollo
it, I would
reading
say
his DMs. He was punching him pretty hard.
I would say no. I think yeah, I do think that Peter was quite down there, and I mean, I would say, uh, yeah, I would say
No,
he just
Faces
got the
Bravo.
energy.
Make sure you censor this out. Faces by Bravo is getting it on with Sean,
Yeah,
probably.
I sure hope so. I would like to see those pictures. I would love to see those videos. Sean is gorgeous. I want Sean.
Sean deserves
I don't know.
better.
Probably it's just because well, he deserves
I
me.
mean, he's
I have
probably
a thing for like that.
the way Bronwyn acts towards it. When he was in the kitchen and she's like, it's not time to eat. I'm like, Bronwyn, shut up. I can't stand people like you.
It's
Go drink a bottle of wine or
it's
something.
so scary because it's like go pass out in a closet. Um, I hate that because it's so like those tendencies are like abusive relationships and like we should not be normalizing that on
Mhm.
screen.
And
Like
this is what it
it's
just
so cringy.
what it
Like I was a fan. Yes, and she said this is okay. This is approved. I'm gonna send it. Like nobody else helped her with it. She. literally, and probably even directed him, hey, I need you to go do this, and that's it, like, it's hard. I just don't think that they should have been given the opportunity to film their own scenes
Because Lord knows
during,
I want to
their
see.
you know what I'm saying, like, poor Gina. There's something wrong with Gina too. She's sending an update on her boyfriend or ex. I'm like, girl, we need to get you help. Not only just like a new
I love
hairstylist,
Gina's
but like,
voice though. She should do like a mukbang where
ooh
she's like, "Oh
yeah.
my gosh, this crab leg is just so juicy to me."
I mean, like, what do you think? No, it's not the best,
Like
but
in Long Island, they're like more salty.
I'm from Boston. Oh no, she's from Long Island. She's from Long
Long
Island. I'm from
Island.
Long Island.
Long
From
Island.
the like, it's the longest island that's ever been around. I don't know if you know, but like she does this thing where she speaks with her mouth. Like she moves her jaw, her bottom jaw to make sure that like I
That
don't know,
long
like there
so
yeah, there are that emphasis okay, okay, Bronwyn, like
it's not about
she
you,
does these
Rodney.
I want that to be just if I could wake up every morning, it'd probably be to like variations of different sounds of hair housewives yelling at me.
It's time to
You
wake
know?
up,
Imagine.
Casey.
Or like or that's my opinion, Casey, now wake up, like that would be a whole project in itself. Like
Housewife
ooh
alarms.
child, like Bravo alarms. Oh, I would love that.
I want
Ooh
to wake up
child,
to.
the morning, the morning.
Just have Nene wake me up every morning. Blue, blue.
Every morning. Blue.
No,
Good
somebody
morning.
they're
Oh
setting the
my
phase.
god.
Wake up every morning to because he needed $12 for a medium-sized pizza, so he ejaculated and was pregnant to have a kid. Now check that.
Oh my god. If you ever want to like throw off your friends, play them that clip and literally that clip only and just walk away. Don't even give them like any other explanation. Just walk away after that. Like I think that on itself is iconic that like you could I mean, I remember where I was. I remember where I was when I first heard that. Like
2012.
it
We're
was
talking about 2014.
I miss Phaedra.
I have a love-hate relationship with her.
She was good for like TV, like personality wise. Like she was good for the reality sketch, the scene and scope of it.
I
But
love fans. Like I remember when I was younger, well, I still do this, but I used to quote the taglines all the time. I think
oh
my
yeah.
favorite when season seven first dropped when it comes to my family, I'm the judge and the jury.
Oh, yes. I have started to like quote Ramona's like order drink.
Not her
Do
order.
you know? Not her order, yes, yes, her order drink. Hi, yes, I'm gonna have. Do you have a wine glass? Yeah, I'm gonna need a very big wine glass, and then you're gonna fill that up with ice cubes, and I'm gonna need water, soda water, fizzy water, and then I'm gonna need some mint. If you can muddle the mint as well, and I'm gonna need a straw, something that bends at an angle, please. Thank you.
If there's an
It's
accent I want to
horrible.
master, I want to master Yolanda.
Oh my God.
Don't you?
I hold everything in the vault.
You kind of sound like Yolanda.
I hold everything in the vault. What can I say? I feel like if I, if I like put a little bit more effort into it, I feel like I could establish a much more better
Don't
Yolander.
tell me you're my friend.
Jolander.
Act like one. I like to have
Oh
fun,
my
but
God. That was,
games.
yes. And then her lemon tree. Oh my god. And Mohammed, you know?
To go
My
drink.
daughter Gigi, she's going to New York.
I thought she was going to be a lesbian.
um,
Pause. You gotta get the pause
what's
in.
one
I thought
housewife
she
you
was.
wish
What were you asking?
or cunnilingus? What is cunnilingus? What is that? Is it a water? Is it a what did she say? Is it a something or is it a something? I know that moment where they were talking about cunnilingus for the first time. She's like, "Is it a water? Is it a cocktail drink? Is it the way her like mannerisms?
You are
So cute."
involved in women business. You don't get in women. My husband would not be talking to women like that.
Uh, these are the ladies that make our lives. Honestly, like I said, I tell my mom these are my friends, and she laughs at them. But like I will come when my mom and I have like lunch or brunch or something like when we catch up or something. I am always like, oh, like she asks me how I'm doing, and I'm like, oh, I'm great. Like I tell her like my friends are doing well, and it's funny whenever they go on a cash trip. I'm like, my friends were just in Mexico, and she's like, no way. She's like, who? And I like legit talk to them, like talk to my mom like if they are my friends, like like I just didn't go to the trip. But I'm like, oh, Ramona such and such. She's like, oh, that's great. She asked me how long did they go, and I was like, you're asking for way too much questions. But I'm like, mom, I'm talking about like the housewives, my friends, and she's like, oh, she's like, oh, those ladies that you've never met, and I was like, yes. But it was hilarious. I took her to see the Salt Lake City drive-in. We went to they did the premiere this year in LA, as a drive-in,
Mhm.
instead of a premiere party. And I took my mom, and she like had a blast. She loved it. She we like we she liked the first episode.
I love God, but
And
I
I
will
mean
read
that's
you scripture.
yeah. Do you guys know how to read? Because this is upside down. I when she said that, no, I fell. I said I fell. I was like, let me call my medical provider and tell them I need some assistance because she really said, "Do you guys know how to read?" And nonchalantly too. Like it seemed like she was saying like hi or like greeting them like it was just, do you guys know how to read? It was she gives us moments and she will still give us moments. I think that what is it called? Salt Lake City is gold for its time, for its moment.
Especially for a first season.
We got something there.
I love Peggy's accent.
Oh
Megan,
yeah.
your baby was crying all alone in the room for 10 minutes.
That's a
I listen to
good
my
one.
husband and he listens to me. It's called having a good marriage. And maybe if you did that, you'd be married too.
And that's horrible that they just read her like filth. And also Jim is mean. Jim is a mean man.
I love Deco though. Like Peggy and Deco, they're amazing.
Yeah, like I feel like they could have been getting us they could have been somebody who could have gotten a better season. Like if anybody don't give a season back to Lydia. I mean, I was happy she came back because of her husband, but like, give us someone
I
that's gonna
feel
like
like
actually do something.
Doug are just hooking up somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure Andy like hooked up with him, and that's the reason why. Like, I'm sure she was like, "Here, Doug, go." She said, "Doug." She said, "Doug, get on your knees, or let him get on your knees." I don't know. Just she said, "I'm tired with another child. I need something else to do." She said, "This third one doesn't even look nice
I don't
anymore."
know
She's
what you're talking
starting to
about.
talk, and
I never did
this
that.
this.
We're
Oh
not gonna
my
get along, I
god!
don't feel like.
I can,
If you
oh
can't
my
take my
god! She walks out
sparkle,
with those nuts.
stay off my rainbow.
That's somebody that should have been like that money should have gone somewhere else.
I wouldn't have mind
demote
getting
her. Don't
Elizabeth
even give her
this
a
season
paycheck.
if that meant she would have. I don't know. No, Elizabeth would have
I just
not
wish
worked
like
for this season.
no, you don't think so?
I don't know, because if she was,
Yeah, probably not with Vicky.
she's like, "How are you?"
Right? It'd go like something like that, but then they'd like whoop it up.
It's not a new girl. Vicky doesn't haze her. Maybe that's why Emma flopped. Because remember, Gina said, "Well, I don't believe in God," and Vicky said, "You have no moral compass."
Oh,
You sound stupid. I don't do stupid.
oh my god! But I mean, Orange County is losing its face.
I
I
still look
think it's.
at the face of Orange County.
I
I
mean, like I
probably
said, just
should,
like.
but like
Eh.
when I think of Orange County, I think of Vicky screaming.
Yeah, it's my
I
show. Get off my show.
have multiple partners in my life.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, I would.
You're supposed to be
I
my
just.
friend, my sister, my soulmate. I would never do that to Eddie. Then act like one. You don't talk to me that way or him.
Oh my god.
And then just Brooks in the background, she giving me the evil eye. She's giving me the evil eye. I'm not giving you the effing evil eye.
Oh my god. Hmm. Well, I feel like we've got a good part of enough for now.
Okay, well, to
I do
all the
need to download
podcast
this.
listeners, if you enjoyed this, please leave a like, subscribe, comment. Oh, wait a minute. I don't even know if this is going to be on. I forgot this is unlisted. So, to my
So
podcast
you could.
listeners, oh, what can we do?
Mhm. I've been working on my other podcast, and the way I do it is I always say like, go ahead and follow the podcast or subscribe to this podcast. Leave us some reviews. 5 stars are the best. Something you'd like to talk to us about, send those in the reviews themselves so we can look at them. Um, if there's something you like, then the next would be like, oh, you can find me on this social, this social. So like, you can find me on Twitter at Casey Rose. I think it's Casey Rowe, ROE, no S. So something amongst that line, and then say we'll catch you on the next episode,
All
or
right.
like we'll
Well,
catch you on
to
the next
all
time.
podcast listeners, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave us a review, a 5-star review. Subscribe to the podcast. Share it to anybody you want to. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I'll probably put it in my social media another time,
Yeah, of
especially
course.
given my rant about housewives.
And
Literally, if
yeah.
you go back and listen to that first 15 minutes, it was so depressing.
Oh my god, no. Okay.
It wasn't a
Well,
mental breakdown, but I feel like if I were a celebrity, they would have considered that a mental breakdown.
oh no. Oh no,
Like,
I'm saying I had have had.
live interview, and they were like, "What you doing?" She was like, "Whenever the network pays me."
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Don't worry. I mean, I will like. It's understandable.
Yeah.
We all have our moments. I had my moment yesterday. At